Hey, welcome back everyone. MC82 here with another review. Today we are looking at E Honda, or Edmund Honda, from Storm Collectibles. Now, I'm particularly excited to get this figure, as it's been a while since Storm Collectibles has released one of the original Street Fighter characters. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I appreciate that Storm Collectibles is diversifying their lines. But unfortunately, that means we have to wait a little while longer for a new release from certain properties. Now, I've always been a fan of Storm Collectibles boxes. They usually have this clear front with a featured character die cut on the front that some cases wraps around to the side of the box, but here it's only present on the front. And there's a few images of E Honda on the side, though oddly enough, they're shots of his Street Fighter V costume as opposed to the nostalgia version of his costume that the figure is wearing. And we have a few shots of E Honda doing some of his signature moves and poses on the back. I also like to take this time to point out that I really like how Storm Collectibles packages their boxes. The character and accessories are nested neatly within different layers of plastic, which keeps the accessories from accidentally falling out when you're transporting things around. And for me, it's the little things that I appreciate when you're dealing with loose objects. Out of the box, this figure stands a little bit above 7.5 inches tall. And as I said before, this figure is based on his nostalgia costume from Street Fighter V, the arcade edition. And that's based on his original appearance in Street Fighter II. And Storm Collectibles has done an admirable job of capturing his unique frame, using a combination of hard plastic in the extremities and a softer plastic in his upper body to create a great looking muscular sumo wrestler. Most of his paint detail is centered on his face, where his kabuki makeup is very vivid and clean. The same can be said for his thick eyebrows and hair, which has just enough detail to avoid looking like a flat patch of black paint. Moving to his upper body, Storm works wonders with this new sculpt, giving him the proper amount of muscle mass to round out his frame. And this frame is soft plastic and extremely flexible, which allows for a surprising amount of articulation. Honda is wearing his classic white and blue striped mawashi, and even has his red fundoshi underneath. And yes, I have no shame in admitting that I looked up the proper names for his sumo wear. It's a slightly soft plastic that mostly serves the purpose of opening up more of his body articulation. So let's get into all of that right now. Now, E Honda's head can move up, down, it turns very well, and generally his head and neck move very well on the ball joint. His arms can extend to 90 degrees, and given the winter blast that just passed through the area, he would have been perfect for making little snow angels. He's got a bicep swivel, his wrists turn and hinge, but I wish his hands were a little larger to cover the wrist joints a little better. The butterfly joint allows for his arms to be placed in almost any angle. The soft plastic in his upper body allows for an unbelievable amount of range for a figure of this size. He has a great ab crunch, and he can bend backwards as well. And as I mentioned before, his mawashi is not a hard plastic, so E Honda's legs are nearly as flexible as his arms. He's got a thigh swivel, and you can easily extend his legs so that he can get down into a sumo position. He's got a pretty good ankle rocker. His foot can bend back, and he has a toe pivot. Storm Collectibles really outdid themselves with his articulation, as you shouldn't have many problems getting him into some of his signature moves. Getting into his accessories, E Honda comes with a set of loose grip hands, a set of open chop hands, and a set of open hands that can be used in conjunction with this effect piece and this stand to recreate his 100 hand slap move. To put this piece together, You'll want to take the two orange effects and connect it to the off-white piece. This white piece is a softer plastic, but the orange pieces certainly are not. Be careful when handling these, as these ends are fairly sharp. You may also need to heat these pieces up a little bit, as it will take a bit of force to get them connected. Once you have these pieces connected, you can connect it to the stand. Now, I understand what Storm Collectibles was trying to do with this effect, but I don't think it effectively recreates the visual of the 100 hand slap. At the right angle, you could perhaps convey the idea that E Honda is striking the opponent, but we needed an effect to show the movement in his hands, the rapid strikes that E Honda inflicts on his opponent. And it's strange because Chun-Li from Storm Collectibles has a similar move with her lightning legs. Storm was able to effectively display this effect there, so I'm not sure why they didn't use a similar approach with E Honda's hands. Finally, E Honda comes with his Street Fighter V stage background, and I appreciate the thought of adding these to the package, but given the size of the characters, the background is just too small, and the folds, which are the only way that it can stand up on its own, kind of get in the way of using it for a good photo, so it just kind of seems like an afterthought. Still, what really matters is that Storm Collectibles has given us a really good E Honda figure. The accessories are a mixed bag, but the sculpt and articulation make up for that. I'm going to give E Honda about an 8 out of 10. We are one character closer to finishing the original 8 characters from Street Fighter II in this line. If they could just kind of fast track the others, I would be a happy man. SH Figure Arts has already given me a serviceable Blanca, so I can wait a little while longer for the Storm Collectibles version. Thanks a lot for sticking around to the end of the review. Hopefully you'll be picking up this figure, and if so, are you as excited as I am that we're getting closer to having all of the original characters? Let me know. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, leave a comment, or consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.